Hello. All right, we're going to do another math lesson. This is the first lesson in probability and data management, unit 16. This is our very last unit that we're going to do this year. So this is pretty exciting that we've come to the end of this school year, especially to do with all the COVID stuff we've been dealing with in the pandemic school at home. So this unit here, we'll probably end up doing about 8 or 9 of the 12 lessons and work through them in the Jump Math workbook. I'll try to do a video for each one to make this a little bit easier on you. So this is going to kick off on page 192 of the Jump Math workbook. And so you can turn there. It's on 192, 193. And this first lesson is just called mean, median, mode, and range. And this is a good lesson to kind of set up all of the key terms that we're going to use in probability, all of the things that are going to help us to describe averages. So there's a really vital lesson, and let's get to it. Page 192. This first gray box here again shows all the key information from the lesson. And it's going to start off with stem and leaf plots. It's a T-chart. So you can see right here, it's in the shape of a T. There's a left column for the stems and a right column for the leaves. Now, the leaf is whatever digit is the furthest right. So in the number 538, the leaf is going to be 8 because it's on the right-hand side of the number. In 529, the leaf is 9 because it's on the right-hand side of the number. And the stem is any digits that are not in the right-hand side. So on the left side of 538, I've got 53. That's the stem. And if it's a single-digit number, like the number 7, then the leaf is 7 because it's the rightmost digit. And in the stem, I'd put 0. Now, the purpose of a stem and leaf plot is to organize a set of numbers from least to greatest, and it allows me to figure out the range as well. So the difference between the lowest and the highest number, the least and the greatest number. So step 1, write the stems in order from the smallest to the largest. So you'll notice in this set of 6 numbers here, they range from 500 and what's the least? 526, and the greatest is 543, I believe. So the stem for the least is 52. There's some in the 530s and some in the 540s. So 52, 53, 54. Step 2, write the leaf in the same row as its stem. So they'll take the number 538 and they'll say, okay, the stem is 53. Whoops. Didn't mean to magnify that. Bear with me. The stem is 53 and the leaf is 8. For the number 529, the stem is 52 and the leaf is 9. And they're going to go through each number and add the stem and the leaf. Finally, they're going to put the leaves in each row in order from smallest to largest. So you'll notice over here, I've got 529 and 526. Well, to put those in order from least to greatest, I'm just going to rearrange them. The 6 comes before the 9. And in 538 and 534, we're going to rearrange that. That's actually a typo. That one there is a typo. That should be 534 and then 538. Look at this. I don't know if you've noticed here. Yo, people from Jump Math, 4 is less than 8. Okay, so number 1 says, for each plot, put the leaves in the correct order. Then list the data from smallest to largest. So we're basically jumping in at step 2, where we just have to write out the digits here. So are we jumping in at 3? Oh, we're jumping in at 3 here. That's where we are. We're just rearranging these. 8, 5, and 1. So let's go. 1, 5, 8. That's from least to greatest. Well, this is easy. 2 and 6. There we go. And then finally, we just have to write our digits in. So I'm going to try to be a little bit tidier with my penmanship here. I've got my little Surface pen. All right, so my least was 321, then 325, then 341, then 345, then 348. And I'm getting my numbers by simply putting the stem together with the leaf. So the stem is 35 and the leaf is 2. So the number is 352. The stem is 35 and the leaf is 356. Or sorry, the leaf is 6, so it's 356. So you can see right here, I've got these ordered from least to greatest. The least in that set of numbers of 7 numbers is 321, and the greatest is 356. That's where a stem and leaf plot, where it really shines. What it's really used for is to put things in order. So I'd like you to do B on your own. All you're doing is jumping in at stem 3 there. You're rearranging the leaves, and then you're writing out the list from least to greatest. So pause the video here, do question 1B, and then unpause the video, and I'll be doing 2 with you. All right, let's move down to 2. All right, 2 says, use the data set to make a stem and a leaf plot. So now we're going to go right back to where it said question A, and we're going to do our own stem and leaf plot. You're going to have to do this on scrap paper. I don't think there's even space in the margin on here to do your stem and leaf plot. I'm going to try to fit one into the margin so you can see. I'm doing, oh, that's a terrible T. Let me try to erase that. Oh, that's not my eraser. There we go. Okay, try that again, Mr. A. That's a horizontal line. That's a vertical line. All right, my stem and my leaf plot. Now, I've only got 5 digits in A, okay? And some of them are single digits. So my stem is going to be 0 for the single digits. And then I've got 3 digits where it's in the tens, so I've got 1. And I've got 8. Actually, can I do this at the same time here? Can I just erase that one? Can I just go ahead? I'm just going to put these in order as I do them, because I know that 7 is going to come before 8. And I've got 10, 13, and 18. So it'll be 0, 3, and 8. There's my stem and my leaf for question 2A. I want you to do question 2B and 2C on your own. You are going to have to do this on scrap paper. I realize that, but it's really key. Okay? Now, when we take a look at a stem and a leaf plot, I'm going to take a look at this gray box here. What we're really going for is we're looking for the range, the smallest number and the largest number, the least and the greatest. So to find the range of a set of numbers, we take the largest number and subtract the smallest number. Okay, so you take the greatest and you subtract the least, and that gives you the difference. The difference between the greatest and the least is your range. Okay, I'm going to say that again. The difference between the greatest and the least is your range. That's how wide apart those numbers are. Okay, so when we're taking a look at our stem and leaf plot here, I can see that I'm going to go back to my example from 2A here. I'm going to change my color a little bit to blue. My least is 7, and my greatest was 18. So I'm going to take the greatest number, subtract the least number, and my range is 11. That's the difference between the greatest and the least. Okay? So that's how we find the range. Question 3. Let's see if I can scroll down here. Question 3 says, make a stem and leaf plot to find the range and the mode of the set. Oh, did I skip over mode? Let's go back. Oh, yes, I did. Terrible, Mr. A, right? Like, we're supposed to read the gray box. The number that occurs most often is called the mode. It's one way of calculating average. So you could say it's the average because it happens the most in a set. So in this stem and leaf plot here, they've bolded 98 because 998, because it shows up, well, that's not right. That's another typo. They got three 998s. So in that case, it would be 998 three times would be the mode. It happens most. And then second most is 1003. So the stem is 100 and the leaf is 3. When you put those together, that's 1003. So whatever digit happens the most in a set is the mode. Okay. Now, number 4 says the set 2, 3, 3, 4, 5, 5 has two modes, 3 and 5. That's correct because 3 happens twice and 5 happens twice. Now remember, the mode is whatever number shows up most often. Okay? It says, what data value could you add to the set? So we're going to add a digit to our set. We're going to have 7 numbers, so that the number of modes decreases. Okay, so currently I've got 2 modes. Now, how could I get it so there's only 1 mode? Well, I'd have to have one of those numbers that happens most often. So I could add another 3. I could add another 5. If I add another 3 or another 5, then there's only 1 mode. What about B? The number of modes increases. Well, I've got 2 modes right now. If I wanted to have 3 modes, I'd have to add a digit so that there was 3 numbers that showed up twice each. Okay, so I could add 2 or a 4. The largest number increases. Okay. What number would I have to add so the largest number in the set increases? Well, it'd have to be on this side of the range there, so it'd be 6 or above. And the range increases. If I want to increase the range, I would either have to have a smaller number than 2 or a greater number than 5. Either of those would work, and that would increase the range. Okay, so that's number 4. I've kind of talked you through that one. Let's take a look at the next page then, shall we? Ooh, another gray box. We're actually going to read this whole one. To find the median of a data set, put the data in order from least to greatest. Count from either side until you reach the middle. So the median is the middle number of a set. So in this first example here, there are 5 different numbers in the set. So the middle number is going to be the 3rd digit in. So counting from the left side, it's going to be 1, 2, 3. Whatever number is in this spot is going to be the median. Median just means middle. So mode is one way of doing an average, and that's just whatever number shows up most often. Median is another way of doing average, and it's whatever number is in the middle of the range. Okay? If there's an even number of digits, the median is halfway between the 2 middle digits. So you take the average, you add them together and divide by 2. So in this set here, there's 6 digits. So the middle 2 of 6 are digits 3 and 4. Okay. And they've circled them. They've added them together. 7 plus 9 is 16. Divided by 2, so the median is 8. So again, median is just another way of calculating average, and it's the middle number. So let's take a look at number 5. This is really simple. Find the median. Well, there's 3 digits. The number that's in the middle is 20. For this average, that's what it is, 20. That's the middle number. Go ahead and do B and C. find the middle number. Pause the video, come back, we'll do number 6. Number 6 says, make a stem and leaf plot to put the data in order, then find the median, the mode, and the range. So again, this is one we're going to have to do on scrap paper. I'll do the first one with you, and then we'll kind of let you take a crack at the other ones on your own here. Okay, so get your scrap paper out. I'm going to try to fit one into the margin over here. Okay, so I'm going to do A, and we're going to do a stem and a leaf plot. Okay, now my stems are, looks like 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I'm going to put these in order. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Those are the rightmost digits. Sorry, the leftmost digits, and the right digits are 15, so that's 1, 5, 18, 1, 8, 40, 32, and 25. It just works out that with these 5 digits, I don't have to rearrange them because the 5 actually happens to come in the right order there. 15 is smaller than 18, but yeah, you could figure that out on your own. Okay, so that is my stem and leaf plot. Then I need to find the median, the mode, and the range. Okay, so in order to find the median, I need to put the numbers in order from least to greatest. So I'll do that down here. 15 was the least, then 18, and 25, 32, and finally 40. Okay, so to find the median, okay, the median is the middle number. In this case, the median is going to be 25. There's 5 digits. That one happens to fall in the middle. So if I was calculating the median and using that for my average, 25 is the median. The mode is whatever digit shows up most often. Well, which one shows up most often? They all do. They all show up just once. So in this case, they are all the mode. There's 5 modes. Oh, that's awful. But that's what they asked us for. And finally, the range. Now remember, to calculate the range, what we have to do is we have to calculate the greatest, subtract the least. So the difference between those is 25. The range is 25. So I've done right here. First, I did my stem and leaf. Secondly, I put them in order, found my mode, my median and my modes. And then thirdly, found the range. Okay, I'd like you to try the exact same thing. Practice is what I mean. Practice by doing B, C, D, and E. Okay, it's very important you do this practice. I know I'm sounding like a broken record here and skipping over and saying the same thing and same thing and same thing. Practice this stuff. It'll pay off in the end. I promise you that, because otherwise it's like, whoop, it's gone. It's gone. I've forgotten. Now I'm thinking about Xbox. So go ahead, do B, C, D, and E. Okay? Let's check out what they've got in this box here. How to find the mean of a set of numbers. So mean is the last way of finding average. I would say that most often when someone is talking about the average, they're talking about the mean. It is possible they mean the mode or the median, but the mean is the one that's most often used. So to find the mean of a set of numbers, step 1, add the data values, add all the numbers together. So I've got 5 different digits in this set, 5 different values, and the sum of the values, by adding them all together, 4 plus 2 is 6, 6 plus 2 is 8, 8 plus 4 is 12, 12 plus 5 is 17. So if I add up all those different values, the total is 17. Step 2, Divide the result by the number of data values. So how many numbers are in this set? 5. So if I take the total and I divide it by the number of values in the set, I end up with, well, basically the mean, the average. In this case, it's 3.4. They've done it by dividing and then as a fraction, 17/5, and then reducing. If you jumped straight with your calculator, you would get 3.4. Okay? Now let's take a look at number 7. Find the mean. Note, the last 3 answers will not be whole numbers. So first off, let's do B. A is done for us. Let's take a look at A as our example. The sum of the data values is 20. So if I add up all 5 numbers, I should get 20. Well, 3 plus 7 is 10, 4 and 6 is 10, so 10 and 10 is 20. That checks out. The number of data values is 5. They're counting the 0. 0 is one of our data values. Whoa, that's crazy. Okay, so there are 5 different values, so 20 divided by 5 is 4. The mean, or the average of these 5 numbers, is 4. Let's check out B. The sum of the data values. We have to add up these numbers here, right here. So 1 plus 3 is 4. 4 plus 5 is 9. 9 plus 5 is 15. 15 plus 7 is 22. And 22 plus 8 is 30. So the sum of all of those digits is 30. Now the number of data values, it looks like there's 6 numbers in that set. So then the mean is going to be 30 divided by 6. Which happens to equal a nice whole number, 5. I like how they start it with really easy examples. That makes it easier on my brain. Let's check out C. The sum of the data values. 2 plus 5 is 7. 7 plus 6 is 13. 13 plus 7 is 20. There's 4 different data values, so the mean is 20 divided by, it's supposed to be a 4. And that one is 5. That's also 5. Nice, even, round, whole number. I'd like you to do the exact same thing with all the grayed out ones here. You have to do these as practice. Find the mean. Add them all together. Find average. This is actually how we calculate grades, by the way. So when we're calculating grades in PowerSchool, we take all of your different marks and we find the mean. We find the average of them by adding them all together and dividing by the number of entries. So yeah, mean is the one that we probably use most often when we're calculating averages. Okay, let's check out a word problem. This is the last question in this lesson. John. John has 3 apples. Cynthia has 5 apples and Noah has 10 apples. How many apples should Noah give John and Cynthia if all 3 people want to share the apples equally? So what's it actually asking us here? It's asking us for the average, isn't it? What's the average between them? Okay, so to find the average, I have to add up all of the things in my data set. My data set is 3, 5, and 10. Those are the number of apples that they all have. To find the average, I'm going to look for the mean. So I'm going to add them together. 3 plus 5 is 8. 8 plus 10 is 18. And if I divide by the number of people, each person needs to have 6 apples. So Noah should give John 3 apples and Cynthia 1 apple. And then they'll all have 6 apples. Part B, find the mean of the data set. Well, you can find the mean on your own. Oh no, we already did. That's how we solved A. I don't know why they asked us to do it a different way. Let's look at C. Bilal has 6 apples. Does he have to give any apples to Noah, John, or Cynthia for the apples to be shared equally among the 4 people? Do any of their others have to give apples to Bilal. So if they all have 6 apples each and Bilal has 6 apples, does he have to share with anyone or do they have to share with him? Does it matter if my set is now 3, 5, 6, 10? What's the mean? What's the average going to be? Okay, figure that one out on your own. And that is it for this lesson. I think I'm going to put up a Google form practice thing just so you could show me the mean, median, and mode and range so you could calculate those ones. That'll be your exit slip for this lesson. Thank you very much.